we have, now I saw you, and you also see me. So at that time, that seeing consciousness arises. That seeing consciousness, there is sanya. And there are 5 aggregates. Sanya khana. That when that visible object, you are my visible object, and I am your visible object. So I see you, then I think in my sanya, in my perception, or you are a foreigner, not local person. This is sanya. This is sanya khana. That visible object and eye sensitivity, my eye sensitivity and that visible object this is rupa khana. And when I saw you, I don't, like, I have some feeling. Let's say, when I saw you, let's say I feel happy. So this is vedana khana. And sanya khana is that I saw you, or you are tall, and you are using that white shawl. This is sanya. I perceive you. This is sanya khana. And sankhara khana is, when I see you, I would like to introduce you. I would like to be friend with you. So then I will introduce myself. This is sankhara khana. And vijnana khana is that knowing consciousness. This is just knowing is that vijnana khana. So in seeing, every day in our daily life, when we see something, then all 5 aggregates are inclusive. When we heard something, like MC, our MC, her voice is very sweet, and so this is, we perceive. This is perception. This is sanya khana. When we hear also, we have that all 5 aggregates are inclusive. When we smell also, let's say we smell, we get someone is cooking in the kitchen, then we get the smell. This smell is maybe it is, that smell is from the bean. Someone is boiling bean. That smell is, that smell must be bean, from bean soup. Or that smell may be frying chicken or frying fish. This is sanya. Whether we hear or we see or we get the smell or we have some taste or we touch something, then all 5 aggregates are inclusive. That is, you want to know like that?
So could it come then that sanya could come after Vedana and before Tanaha? So Vedana Paccaya Sanya, Sanya Paccaya Tanaha. Could it come like this?
So because that Sanya, Vedana, all these are, we call Cetasika, mental Cetasika, that when that consciousness arises, there are some associated mental concomitants, mental factors. So we may say sometimes it will happen together.
I think perhaps if we look at the diagram here, especially Moko Siaro's diagram, we can see the blue line here. It says that avijja sankhara, tanha, upadana, bhava. So those are the 5 things that are arises simultaneously. And with that, if we think about sanya in terms of aggregates, 5 aggregates, then of course, as we all know, 5 aggregates occur simultaneously. So my thinking is, I don't have textual evidence, but at the moment, my thinking is that here, when we look at Paticcasamuppada as a doctrine, of course, we don't actually mention sanya as a separate one. But as a whole, when we look at Paticcasamuppada on the whole, as a doctrine, we can also see that there are multiple causes. So although it's kind of linear, and linear version of the Paticca Samuppada, we find that in the canonical text. But then when we start looking at Visuddhimagga, for example, this is the diagram here that we see, actually is based on Visuddhimagga version of Paticca Samuppada doctrine. So we see that simultaneous occurrence of all those different causes. And this is touched on the point about whether avijja is the original cause or not. When we look at the Visuddhimagga version, we can see that avijja doesn't occur as a single cause. It also combines with other factors coming together. And I think this is one of the kind of later developments in the Pali traditions. So we can see that there's a progression, okay, of conceptual development. Okay, thank you.
Great, thank you for both those answers. Thank you.
Hello, I want to ask some question. I have 3 questions I want to ask Dr. Nirmala. Number 1, we can say avijja pasaya sankhara. Then can we say vijja pasaya asankhara? Number 2, can we say avijja pasaya namarupam or avijja pasaya sati sara? Is question number 2. Then last month, we discussed in classroom. You gave up lecture that the cause of sankhara is avijja. The cause of avijja is asava. You said that. Then now I want to ask you, what is the cause of asava? That 3 questions.
So the first question is avijja paccaya sankhara. So your question is, if we can say avijja paccaya asankhara? Yeah, I think so, because asankhara is nibbana. Avijja is wisdom. So if we have that sufficient or that wisdom from inside knowledge or wisdom, from that wisdom, then if we gain that part knowledge and fruition knowledge, this is asankhara. So I think we can say avijja paccaya asankhara. Yeah, that is what I think. And another one is, what is the second question?
Can we say avijja paccaya namarupam, avijja paccaya sati, avijja paccaya maranam, etc.?
Yeah. Avijja paccaya sankhara. That is quite obvious, very obvious. Yeah, we can say avijja. The Buddha taught. Not we can say the Buddha taught that avijja paccaya sankhara. The sankhara paccaya vijnana. If we say each factor that Ajahn Brahmali, he mentioned that subsequent factor, the previous factor is the cause of subsequent factor. So for the existence of subsequent factor, we should have that previous factor. So, but we cannot jump. You want to jump from that avijja to jati jara marana, but we can't jump because that for the subsequent factor for the existence, then we must have previous factor. This is the second question. The third question is, what I said in the class is that the cause of avijja is hindrance, not asava. Hindrance, 5 nivarana. Nivarana, that 5 mental hindrances are the causes of avijja. So, what is the cause of mental hindrances? I'm sorry, I don't have that answer. Okay. Okay, thank you.
I would like to say, Paticca so we're talking about the theory and practically and very nicely. So we have many knowledge, but I want to share that according to Mogul way. So I learning Mogul method many. So first of all, I came from Chulalongkorn University. I'm training PhD student. So I want to say what is the dependent origination. Mogul Zero said that not only not on the paper, not on the diagram, at the moment on our kanda, 5 aggregates. This is very important in the present aspect of the group, 5 group. This is the 5 aggregates. This is the Paticca. This is actually really Paticca. At the present moment, for example, now we have I want to present. I want to sharing before now. So I little bit nervous. So this is our mind. So this is because of this mind. Now I present. This is cause and effects. We cannot say this is being. We cannot say I'm not man with the ultimate point of view. With only I became I want to talk. This is a mind, and I became now action and body. This is the mind and body. So this is our 5 aggregates. This is the present aspect of kanda. This is dependent origination. So now, this is we can focus if we can know really. We know mind and body. We know nama and rupa. This is according to the Visuddhimagga. And then we know cause and effect, dependent origination. We know another knowledge, the cause and effect knowledge. So these two, we got knowledge. The Visuddhimagga commentary said this is the Chula Sosapan. Chula means the small, Sosapan is the Baya state, powerful state. So Chula Sosapan is we cannot go 2, 3 lights. This is Chula Sosapan because we deeply understanding dependent origination. So that's why if we don't never go to the full Baya state, we should practice more insight knowledge deeply, and then the vipassana. At the time, we can gain the first stage of Dosapana, first string winner. So this is, I think this is we can break through our links at the present aspect. So that's why I want to share about this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's why Mogul Sayadaw Byaji, he coined a word, that Khanda Paticca Samuppada. We have to contemplate. We should understand not from the text, but from our body. Khanda Paticca Samuppada. We have to understand that. Thank you for your sharing knowledge.
I have one more question, okay? Yeah, from Tia.
To briefly go back to the question of skandhas, would you agree with an interpretation according to which the Panchaskandha is present in each and every anga, but the angas are named according to what during that part of a process has the most causal prominence?
Would you mind repeat the point, the question again?
Would you agree that the 5 aggregates are present in each and every anga, but the anga is named in accordance to what has causal prominence during that part of the process?
That when I mentioned that when we see, when we hear, or when we smell, then all 5 aggregates are inclusive. So whether I agree with this or not, yes, of course, I agree with that. When we see something or when we hear voice or something, and when we get the smell, all the 5 aggregates are included.
Right. That's the first half. But in regards to why each anga has that specific name, do you agree that the naming of the anga is in accordance to what has causal prominence at that part of the process?
Anga means, you mean the 12 factors?
Yes.
The 12 factors are prominent.
Although the 5 skandhas are present, let's say in the first anga, why do we call it avidya? And the answer is because avidya is what has most causal prominence during that part of the process. Do you agree with this?
Yeah, I agree with that also.
Thank you.
One possible explanation might be when we think about patana, and of course in patana, adipati paccaya talks about that. And so when we think about adipati paccaya, one cause can become the prominent cause of a thing, an effect. And so I think that's why when we study Paticcasamuppada, and we should actually look at the patana, because the patana, it's explaining how things are related. And of course, in the, as you know, Visuddhimagga, it talks about how the link between Paticcasamuppada and the patana. And this is very useful, I think, especially when we think about how Paticcasamuppada can explain and can be used. I use the word use in terms of very loosely in meditation. Of course, when we talk about patana or the Paticcasamuppada, they are not prescriptive. They are not manual. They are only describing our experiences and things like that. And that's why it's very, we have to be very careful in terms of when we say, okay, how we can apply Paticcasamuppada in meditation, or how we can apply patana in meditation. Of course, they are not actually prescribing what needs to be done in the practice. Thank you. I think we will have a short break for tea, and then it would be great if you can come back here by 3 o'clock for our closing lecture by Professor Alexander Wayne. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, our Dean, Dr. DPhil, and our 2 great scholars, Siale Associate Professor Siale Dr. Donimla and Sia Uongjo, for their excellent presentation, and also to all the participants and scholars for the active and lively contribution and sharing your thought. Now it is time to show our appreciation. So this time, taking the opportunity with the presence of one of our main sponsors, may I cordially invite Uaw Sota, Chairman of the Myanmar Combat Group Company Limited, to present the certificate and souvenir to the chair and the speakers. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. For the next, may I invite Siale Dr. Donimla to receive the certificate of appreciation and the souvenirs. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May I also invite our chair to receive the certificate of appreciation and the souvenirs.